Hello everyone, it's pyGuru this side, and today in this tutorial we are going to learn how can we automate some of the basic Android steps using Termux and Python. So let's get started. Before starting we have to set few things up. So let's see what we have to do. The first thing you need to install is Termux. So for this I'm going using fdroid. I will leave a link for this fdroid because it has the latest updates for each of the packages or tools that we're going to use. So here I'll search for Termux. You can also install Termux from their GitHub page, but there's a problem which I'll let you know in some time. So the first thing is Termux. So we have to install this. I've already installed this. Okay. The next thing that we have to install is Termux API. So here is the Termux API. Just search for it and then also install it. So I've already installed this one also. Once you install both of these, what we have to do, we have to go to Termux. Then we have to install a package called pkg install Termux API. Okay. So I have also installed this one already. So the next thing we have to do, we have to set up the storage. If you have not done this already, so for this we have to run this command termux -setup -storage. So once you do it, a notification will pop up which will say to enable file access to the Termux. I've already done it, so I guess it won't ask me again. Yeah. It started with the automation part. This is the setup. One last thing that we have to do is install Python. We'll do it in the end of this video. Okay. So we'll start with some of the basic commands that we can run using Termux API. And the first command will be Termux battery status. So all you have to do is just write Termux and hit enter. So you can see it says health, battery health is good. It's around 63% charge. Currently unplugged. Status discharging. Temperature of my phone is this one, and current is around this ampere. Okay. Then with the next command, we'll learn how to set up the brightness of my screen. So you can see currently it's around 50%. I'll try to increase the brightness using Termux. So what all I have to do is type Termux -brightness. And then we have to pass values from 0 to 255. So 0 will be the minimum brightness and 255 will be the maximum brightness. I'll try to set it at let's say 200, and let's see. Okay, so here is our first error, and it says error, please grant the following permission to use this command and write the permission.write settings. Suppose so we have to give few permissions before we can fully access Termux API commands. So let's see how can we do it. It's actually very easy. What we'll do, we'll search for the Termux in our settings. I'll just go to my settings here. And here I'll search for my Termux. And here you can see I have multiple Termux tools installed, like installing Task API and Termux. We have to give few permissions to Termux API. I'll open the Termux API. Now you can see in the permission section, let's see if you want to make calls, which you learn in a few times, sometime how to make calls, send message, all kind of this thing. So I have to give all these permissions also. For example, if I want to make call, I have to allow phone permission. If I want to access the current location, I have to give the location permission, like this. Okay. So whatever you want to do, you have to give that permission. But for now, if I want to change the screen brightness, what I have to do, I have to just scroll down here and it says modify system settings not allowed. I have to enable this. Okay. This is particularly for Android or permission.write settings. Okay. So once I've done this, let's go to my Termux once again, and I'll hit the above command and I'll try to run it once again. Okay. So you can see my screen brightness has already increased, and though it says like this, but it's quite bright now. Similarly, if you want to reduce this, you can just give some lower value. So I'll try with let's say 100. So I'll just hold it down and type 100 and just press enter. So you can see my screen brightness has automatically decreased. So this is how you can change screen brightness. Now let's see, we want to get the content of my clipboard. Whatever I have copied, I want to paste it here. So what I will do, I'll just write another command here, Termux, and this clipboard. Okay. So if I just enter it, you will see some text will be printed on the screen, and here it's printed @hackertips. It's my Telegram channel link, which I currently copied and pasted somewhere. So it's showing that thing. Now let's say I want to set something on my clipboard so that I can access in data. So what we can do, we can just run the same command with a little variation. Set, and let's say I want to set hello, or copy hello to my clipboard. Okay, so hello, whatever you want to copy on the clipboard, you can just write it and then press enter. It's done. So it says, you can see here it says copied also, and you can also try to get the value now, and it will say hello. So this is how you can set and get the clipboard content. Now let's say I want to open my fingerprint scanner. So for this we have another command, so just Termux, that's fingerprint, and we'll use this. If I press enter, my fingerprint will be here. You can see I have to search it and it will authenticate. Okay, so here once the authentication is done, we'll get some message like this: there are no errors, failed attempt is 0, and result is success. So this is how you can access fingerprint sensor. Now it will only work when you have a fingerprint sensor on your device. Now I will try to get my device location. So for this I'll run another command, which is Termux this location, and if I hit enter, I will get an error here because currently I have disabled the access to Termux API for the location. So here I'm already getting this option like do you want to give access to Termux API. Suppose if you are not getting this, let me just click on don't allow. You will get an error like this: android.permission.access find location. So what we'll do, if we don't get in pop-up like that, all you have to do is go to your settings. I've already shown here, just select for Termux API, click on location and give the access to it. So once you give the access to it, you will be able to get your current location. So let's just try to run the same command again, and I'll get my current location here. So this is my latitude, longitude, altitude, accuracy, all these things related to my location. So this is how you can access your current location. Use this to get weather info like that. We'll learn a few things with how can we do all this stuff using Python in upcoming videos as well. Now let's say what I want to do is show some notification on my system tray. So what we have to do is use another command that will be Termux, and then we have to pass -c here, and here in the double quotes you can write your message, whatever you want to see on the notification. So you can just write hello from Termux, let's say. We'll just close the double quotes and hit enter. And here I will get a notification like this. It says hello from Termux. Now it's a very simple notification. We can do a lot of stuffs in this notification part. Like open, you will see there are buttons like click on yes, no, and then action. We call it action. Actually, we can do a lot of things with the notification part, but this is not possible to cover in this video. If you want, I will make another tutorial on the notification part, or I'll just leave the documentation for this. You can just try it yourself. Now we are going to do something cool. Let's say you want to create a Python program and want to know how many steps you have covered in some time. Okay, so we can do this using one of the sensors available on the Android. Let's see how can we do it. So first of all, we'll just try to list all the sensors that are available on my device. So I'll just type Termux sensor, and then I'll type -tel, which is list, and it will list all the sensors that are available on my system. Okay, so you can see there's a list of sensors. Few of them I am not aware of: orientation, some sensor for gravity, linear acceleration. Then I am not aware of these sensors actually. Then there's the few other sensors like step detect, step count. Okay, so let's say I want to know how many steps I have we can walk from the morning. So what I can do is I can use the step count sensor here, and let's say I want to start counting from press, so I can use the step detect sensor. So let's see an example here. Okay, I'll just type Termux sensor, and this after that we have to type dash s and then the sensor name. The sensor name here is step count. Okay, so if I just type step count and hit enter, let's just remove the dashes, double quotes here, and if I enter, you will see it will give me my step count values in it's updating after a few seconds. Let's I think 1 second. So here it will keep updating me until and unless I stop it. So what I can do is I can just press Control and then C, and it will stop it. Okay, now let's say if you want to limit the number of times you want to read the sensor value, so what you can do is you can just type dash n and then press give 3 as value, and let's say I want to get the delay, like currently it's updating I guess 1 second. If you want to let's say get the values every 2 seconds or 3 seconds, so what we can do, we can use another parameter here dash b and give the value in milliseconds. So let's say if I want to get the value after 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds, I just have type 3000 and hit enter. So it will only print me 3 times. Okay, each 3 seconds it will update me. So this is a cool thing that you can use your Python programs which are running on Android. Now I'll make a tutorial for the same on some other video or shorts maybe. Let's move ahead. Now let's say I want to send a message or SMS to someone. So for that we have another command here, which is termux dash SMS dash send. So we'll send that SMS here. Then we have to pass a parameter dash n, and its value will be phone numbers to which you want to send the SMS. Now you can pass one number or a list of multiple numbers separated by commas. So here I have copied one number with me. So I'm just sending to this number, and then you have to pass dash s. This dash s represents your SIM slot. Now its index start from 0. Currently I have only one SIM geo which on my phone, so I'll pass 0. Let's say if you have two SIMs, Geo and Airtel, if you want to send a message by Airtel, you have to pass 1. In case if your Airtel is secondary SIM and Geo is primary SIM. Okay? So I'll pass 0 here, and then you have to pass the text that you want to send. So let's say I want to send a hello from Termux. Okay. Now here you will see you will not get any success message or error message. But let's say if your SIM slot is wrong, your message will not be delivered. But if your SIM slot and phone number is correct, your message will be delivered. In my case, I have received this message. This is a temporary number, so don't try sending it any SMS on this number. Moving ahead, if you want to call someone, you have to use another command, that is termux, then telephony, and then call. Again, if you don't have the permission, you have to give permissions like I've shown from the settings, and after typing this command, you just to type the phone number that you want to call. So let's say I have a number here and I want to call on this number. If I hit enter, it will in Termux. Now let's say you want to get some information about the telephony device. So all you have to do is you have to run another command, which is termux telephony dash device info. So I'll just hit this and we'll get some output here. So you can read this thing, data enabled true, like I'm currently connected to the internet, and all those kind of things. Okay, so you can see all these values as well. Now let's say you want to show some pop-up message. So what we can do is we can use the termux toast command, which is like this, termux toast, and then after that we can just type the message that you want to show on the let's say screen. So here I can just So dash s to specify the time for which I want to show the toast, and then you can also use few commands like dash b to set the toast background color, dash c to set the text color, and then dash z to set the position of toast, which will take top, middle, or bottom. Okay, so let's say currently I just want to change the text color, so I'll use the command parameter here dash c, and I can pass the color name, which will be, let's say, red. And then after all these things, after passing all the parameters, you can just type your text. So let's say success is my toast notification. So if I just run it, you will see it's typing success. The background is gray, so you can use the dash b and set the background color as white, okay, whatever color you want. So this is how you can sort the toast message using Termux. Now let's say I want to turn on my thoughts, or you can say flashlights. So for this, what we have to do, we have to use another command that will be Termux dash torch, and you have to pass either on or off. So currently my flashlight is off. I'm trying to turn it on, so I'll just type on and hit enter. So my flashlight is on here, as you can see, and if I want to turn it off, I can just try it like this. Okay, so it's off now. Now let's say I want to vibrate my device. We have another command for that. That will be Termux dash vibrate. One more thing, if any of this is failing, it means you have not given the permission for that particular command. So just go in settings and give the permissions. Okay. So let's say I want to vibrate my device, and if you just run this command, it will vibrate for 1 second. Let's say if you want to vibrate it for 5 seconds, what you can do is you can just type dash d and pass 3000 which is 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds, or 5000 milliseconds or 5 seconds. Just hit enter and your device will vibrate for 3 seconds. I can't show you, but it's actually vibrating. Now let's say I want to turn on my Wi-Fi, so we have another command for that, which will be Termux dash Wi-Fi dash enable. It takes two values, either true or false. Currently my Wi-Fi is turned off and I want to turn it on, so I'll just type true here and press enter. So as you can see, if I just open it on, yes, my Wi-Fi has been turned on. And let's say if I want to turn it off, dash enable, and I'll just type false here. If I hit enter, my Wi-Fi will be turned off, as you can see. Now we'll learn one or two more commands, and then we'll check how can we do the same things using Python. So first of all, things that I want to do is I want to list out all the TTS engines on my available on my Android device. TTS stands for text to speech. Let's say we want to convert some text to speech, then what we have to do is we have to run this command. If I enter, so you can see currently one TTS engine installed on my Android device, which is speech recognition and synthesis from Google. This is an application. This is also the default application. Now let's say I want to use this TTS engine to speak some text. What I can do is we can just do it like this: Termux TTS speak, which is a command. After that, what we have to do, first of all, you can just type your text if you want to hear it. So if we just do it, it will use the default engine. So it spoke hello. You may not be able to hear it due to recording. The final command for this video will be, let's say I want to change the volume on my device. So for that we have another command, that is Termux dash volume. Volume. If I just hit enter without any argument here, you can see there are few things or streams you can say which are available on my device. The first stream is call. Let's say if I want to change the value of call volume, its current volume is 4 and maximum volume is 6. Okay, then system volume, then ring volume, then music volume, then alarm volume, and notification volume. We can see the current value and their max value also. So let's say if you want to set some value, I want to set my call volume to 6. What I will do is I'll just run this command which with the stream name which was called here, and then pass the volume. Make sure the volume does not exceed the maximum value, and minimum value will be 1 or 0. Okay. If I just hit enter, if I try to show you my volume, you can see my call volume is full. Okay, so this is how you can set volume using Termux. Now let's see how can we do all of these steps using Python. This is the second part of this tutorial. For this you have to install Python first. So for this all you have to do is pkg install Python. pkg is package manager for Termux. Just type it and let it get installed. It will take. After that you will have to install a text editor. I'll install Nano here. I'll just have pkg install Nano. You can use any text editor, it doesn't matter actually. And then hit enter. Again it will take some time. Both are installed. Now I'll just create a simple Python file which will be like this: nano test.py. And here you can see this is my text editor screen. I'll start with importing two modules here. The first one will be JSON. So import JSON, then import subprocess. Okay. Now let's say I want to get my current battery status from what we started this tutorial. So what I'll do is I'll just run this command result. This is a variable which will store my value. We will use the subprocess module. Now in Python we can't directly call any command on my terminal, so we have to use either the os.system or subprocess.run. So I'll be using subprocess.run here. So subprocess. Now again this is just to run the command on the terminal, okay, or shell you can say basically. Here you have to type the first will be a list of commands like this. Just type this Termux. This is same as we run in the first tutorial. So Termux battery dash status. Basically here we just have to type the command that I want to run, and then if you have parameters you can just separate by comma and then pass their values. So I'll just do it like this, then pass comma here. Okay. Then we have to define the standard output here. By default it's shown on your terminal screen. Like if I just type Termux battery status, it just shows the values on my terminal screen. Here we are not using terminal directly. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to store that output. So what we have to do is standard output std output equals subprocess dot py. So basically what does this means is instead of printing it on the terminal screen, all I have to do is I have to store it in the variable result. Okay. After doing this, we have to encode it. Basically what you have to do is you can just create another variable like this. So this battery info, and then json.loads. Here you have to type the variable name in which you have stored your values. So result dot std output. This is currently storing our output. Then decode it to UTF-8. Okay, so you can properly read it. Now if you are unable to understand this part, you can just ignore this. All you have to do you have to do all these things every time you run any command. Okay, so print what we have to do is battery and underscore info. You can also try printing the result here to see its value. So let me just print that one also. Okay, so we are done with our first command, and I'll just save it. To save it, we have to type test control and then O and hit enter. So it says wrote 7 lines. Now let's try to exit it by pressing Control X, and we are out of this. Okay, now let's try to list if I have this file in my system. Not yes. So test.py. Let's try to run this now. Python test.py. So you can see in the first line it says the completed process with certain arguments and then the value of this. Okay, so yes, and in the next line we have the decoded value with each values in a JSON format. So this is how you can do it. Now what I will do is copy few of the commands from my gist, which link I'll give you in the video description. I can't type this much commands, so here it is Termux API automate.py. I'll just open it and open it in raw, and then just copy all of this. Basically it's the same thing that we are doing in the previous example. So copy it, and then I'll just paste it in my nano.py file. So just to do it, we have to do the same thing, nano then test.py. so we are back here, clear all the content and paste the content that I've just copied from my clipboard, and I'll just go to it like this. Import subprocess, import JSON, we already know. We have created a function here that marks battery status to get the battery status here. We have already run this function previously. To get the location, we have another function, Termux location. You can use this. Now for an example for parameters, you can do it like this. Termux send SMS. This takes to phone number and then message. So to run this, you have to type subprocess.run termux-sms-send, and then inside the -n, after -n parameter, all these things will be in the list, and then the phone number and then your message. Okay, so after we're doing it, we'll be calling these functions inside the main. So print, there are 3 options we have here: check battery status, get current location, and send SMS. Then we'll be choosing for 1, 2 or 3. If the choice is 1, we'll run the battery status command. The choice is 2, will the Termux get location command, and if the choice is 3, we'll run the Termux send SMS command. So we are good to go with it. So I'll just type Control O to save it, then enter, and then Control X to exit terminal. Now let's just try to run the file again, which will be Python test.py. If I hit enter, it's asking me 3 things: check battery location, get current location, send SMS. So let's say I want to get my current location. I'll just type 2 here, and if I hit enter, it will give my current location to it. Okay. In that code also, you can store it in a variable, and then you can always access the values later in code. So this is how you can automate few of the things using Python and Termux API. Hope this helps. If you're new to my channel, subscribe it, like it. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial.